Okay, perfect. So let's get started, guys. I want you to speak up here. If anyone wants to speak up, you are free to speak up here. So now here, why we have gathered here to discuss on the career prospect of Power BI. So what is Power BI and why we are choosing Power BI in our career? So why this Power BI has become so much popularly increasing in my current IT world now. So say you are from any field, say you are from manufacturing, say you are from pharmaceutical, say you are from insurance, any domain, why Power BI has become so much popular and why this Power BI skills are become so much increasingly important in the current IT scenario. Anyone, some of us who have joined us here might be a fresh graduate who have completed their graduation either in BE or from any background, and some of us have some experience in the industry who wants to learn Power BI. So first of all, why we need this Power BI tool? What is the purpose of this tool? Can someone help me understand on that? If you want to just speak, you can just raise your hand. I'll just unmute you and you can speak. Anyone wants to speak, guys? You want to just tell about your experience of Power BI, what you understand that Power BI is. Chanchal wants to speak. Perfect.
Yeah, hi. So what I know about Power BI is that it is a data visualization tool, and it helps. It can help people like me, who is a business analyst, to visualize my data in a way wherein I can convert it into a information for higher senior people to take a decision on some matter. That is what I know about Power BI.
Perfect. That is absolutely right. Yes, that is right. But we want some more understanding on this. So if someone asks you what is meant by Power BI, if you explain this statement to them, Chanchal, do you think that will justify that for any fresher who has just passed out his engineering or from BCA background for any graduation? If you explain him this, will he understand this?
No, maybe not.
Yes, exactly. So now let's start with the name. Let me just open a whiteboard. Yes, can you just confirm me if a whiteboard is visible?
Yes.
Yep. So now if I speak on this Power BI, what is it BI stands here? BI means what? Can someone tell me, guys? This BI, what do you mean by this BI?
Is it business intelligence?
Perfect. Yes, that is business intelligence. You have got it right. BI stands for business intelligence. Then you told something different, right? For your superiors, you want to create some visualization and you can give it to them and for their use. So anywhere that you are helping from the business intelligence standpoint?
No,
okay,
no.
Let's take a simple example.
Yeah,
let's take a simple example.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So let's take a simple example, guys. This is for everyone in this session. So let me just clear this whiteboard now and tell me, guys, one thing. I just like to add a simple question. What is meant by business intelligence and why it is important for each one of us to learn, and how Power BI is helping us to achieve our goal. Okay, guys. So tell me, how many of us are using smartphones here? Hardly there will be anyone who is not using a smartphone. Anyone who is not using a smartphone, you can raise your hand. Chanchal, Ayushi, Jawad, Abhishek, anyone not using a smartphone? Yep. Guys, you have the capability now to just unmute yourself and speak. Anyone who don't have a smartphone with you? Everyone has. I believe everyone has. Okay. Now, before you purchase a smartphone, what were the things going on in your mind? So nowadays, a lot of brands are there out there. Say it's an iPhone, say it's an Samsung, say it's a Xiaomi, Oppo, many types of different brands of smartphones are there. Then what made you choose that particular phone that you are using now? Guys, I want it to be interactive. It's not like just I'll speak and it's like it's two-way communication. So I want to bring in the concept from the individual level of business areas. I'm sure that it will make sense at the end of the program. What is business intelligence and why we need that? Anyone wants to speak up?
What the phone gives us.
Your voice is very low. May I know the good name?
futures-
Who is speaking?
Sadiq,
Sadiq. Yes, please go ahead, Sadiq.
the futures what the phone does to us.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. So now, what is the specification of your smartphone, Sadiq?
Specification means the power of the processor.
Yes.
The
So it could be 4 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of ROM. Yes, it could be like that, right?
right.
So different features are there. Okay. Then what made us choose that again? Means what was the purpose behind that? I want to make worth of in every single rupee or dollar that I'm spending for that smartphone. Isn't it? I have some set of requirements. I want that phone to justify that requirement. Isn't it, guys? Did we not have this intention before purchasing that particular smartphone? Everyone does have that. Yes,
Correct.
everyone does. Why? The amount that we are spending, we want to make worth of it.
Right.
Now, in order to do that, what will you do? Anyone just went to a shop and purchased a smartphone directly from there? Just went to a shop, there was a catalog and a lot of brands of phones were there, and you just selected one of the brand from there and you asked the person to give that phone? Anyone that did this? Or I will tell the steps you did that. Tell me. First, you compared from a lot of websites, a lot of review videos, and a lot of friends has suggested you. Yes, out of their experience, they have told you, and you went to YouTube and you went to various websites called GSM Arena, Gadgets 360, and you did a survey of the products and compared multiple products. Correct? Did we do that? Chanchal, did you do that, or just you purchase the phone? Yes. Suraj says he did that. Anyone else who did that? Anyone else who did that? Guys, please feel to speak. So now I'll just give a diagram of that. So I'll just create a project by name, project purchase mobile phone. Project purchase mobile phone, and I'll just do the steps what you have done and tell me whether you did the same thing or no. So you collected information from many different sources. So the first source of information is YouTube. Second source of information is various websites. Third source of information is your previous experience. So what I will do here, I'll just add those. YouTube is the first source of information. Next source of information is what? It's an websites like GSM Arena or Gadgets 360. Third component that I considered was previous experience. So all these three information I just gathered, I collected that information, I would tell, to be specific. I just collected that information. I just collected this information. This step, I'll just name it as collection. Collection, yes. Then what I did for this collected information, I just did some understanding on this data. I just did some understanding that I'll call integrate that information. I integrated that information, guys. I integrated. What is meant by integration here? Integration. Why do I need this integration? So guys, think if I start speaking in Kannada, because basically I'm from Bengaluru, actually I speak Kannada. So someone of us might be from any part of the world. If we start speaking in our mother tongue, will anyone understand? Ultimately, you'll think that we have not justified the time that we have spent and Arif has wasted our time. No. So the same thing is happening here also. The information that we are gathering here, this is of video format. This is of video. This is of text. And this is the general intelligence. So the same way as we speak in mother tongue, no one will understand. The same thing is happening here also. Video, text, and general intelligence. So we need a method of integration. We need some data cleaning. So we do that integration. The step of integration, we call it as ETL. That stands for extract, transform, and finally load that information. So that's what I did. When I get information from various websites, I did this transformation in my mind. Okay. Then after that, what did I did, guys? After that, what I do? Okay, I just did a final step of analysis. Analysis on what I have got information. Analysis. And finally, on top of that, I'll just bring this down. Okay. Let me just get rid of this. Okay. So finally, what I did, guys, I just took decision on top of this. Final phase was decision. Okay, now it's an open question, guys. Don't we do all these steps when we want to purchase something or we want to take some decision? Open question. Anyone wants to speak up here? You can. Chanchal, do we have Chanchal with us? Yes, Chanchal, can you just unmute yourself and speak? Anyone, you can just unmute yourself and speak.
Yeah, you're right, Arif. Everybody, I mean, anybody, we when we go through the purchase or any of be it any item, electronic or something, we definitely go through these processes. Now that we have so much access to, online access to so many information and all. So Google is something we do. YouTube is there and a lot more things, website and all. Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. So why do we do this?
To get the best or get the one we are looking for.
Perfect. Perfect answer. To get the best and to get the exact information or exact product that I want. So after doing all this research, collecting the information and transforming that information in our mind, doing the analysis, finally taking a decision, if the product that I purchased is a worth product, then what sense of feeling that comes within ourselves, guys? We have taken an intelligent decision. Happens, right? We have taken an intelligent decision. We feel that we have taken an intelligent decision. Yes or no?
Yeah.
We feel that we have taken an intelligent decision because the amount that I have spent, I have did the best out of that. So now, so I call this process. Can I call this process as personal intelligence process or cycle? Can I just give a name in general?
Yeah, definitely.
Personal intelligence process. I will call it as a personal intelligence process. Any person's intelligence when it is spending some amount to purchase something or do something out of his money. So all these steps he do. Okay, that I call personal intelligence. Now, think, guys, you are not purchasing a mobile phone. Instead, now you are selling a mobile phone. Selling a mobile phone. Then, what will be in your mind? You will go to various website, we will reach out to customers and then try to understand what they like. Then you'll reach out to your employees, your team of experts, whether some features are possible or no. Then you'll go back in your past and you'll try to understand in the past what type of products I have built and were they successful or were they failure. Based on that, you take the decision. Do you follow the same steps there also in while selling a mobile phone, guys? You'll collect the information from various sources as possible. Say it's a customer feedback, say it is prior experience, say it is your technical expertise. All this information you'll collect and then you will combine all those information. Finally, you'll come across with a product telling that yes, this is the product that we have and we want to sell this product. Don't you do that?
Right.
Or directly you manufacture something without doing proper understanding of the market, without doing proper analysis. Directly will you manufacture any product?
No, it's going to fail then.
It's going to fail. Definitely it's going to fail. And can I just give the name for that as business intelligence? Now when I did this this all process in order to purchase a mobile phone, now can I just use the same method to sell my mobile phone and call it as a name business intelligence?
Right.
Can I name it? Yes.
Yeah.
That is what the name came from. Power BI. Power BI, business intelligence. So what is the purpose now for this? Now, anyone who had confusion in the mind, what is this tool? What is this tool? Now hope that makes clear sense of this. So now every problem, without a problem, if some solution is there in the market, we don't use that. Every solution in the market currently came out of a problem statement. And the problem was, I want to take an effective decision of how to make business successful in the market. That was the problem. And Power BI is helping us to do these steps, to do these entire steps in order to make my business successful. So now, does it make us a mandatory or a compulsory, means one of the most needed skill in the field of data analytics? And have we got the purpose of why we have to think to make Power BI as a career?
Exactly, Arif. Right.
So now just think, guys, we had a problem. So some wise person back in the year of 1958, the term business intelligence was coined by some person. So before that, we were using this process, but we call it as personal intelligence, and we were not putting that in a proper structure and using it. But everyone subconsciously in our mind we do this, but we don't know that what name we should give for that. But some wise person gave it as a name called business intelligence. And just think, guys, there is a common out of our human nature that comes out. Yes, this is the process I have to do in order to be successful in the market. And now, what made this process much complicated nowadays? Why this has become very much important for us? Because nowadays we are living in a data-driven world. Why? Just past 7 years back, in the year of 2014, Power BI was developed, guys. Do we have that information? Anyone knows that? When did Power BI started? Power BI
Yes, sir.
started in the year 2014. Just in 7 years, Power BI has become so important and so much popular. Why? Because the data that we deal with every day has become increasing very fast. With that ways, the way to implement our data analytics structure and process that information also becoming a challenge for us. But Power BI is coming to our rescue by various ways to process that information, to clean that information, to integrate that information, and various different ways to present that information. So now,
So hi, this is Charles from Intellipaat.
Yeah.
So once you're done with
Yeah.
the program, kindly make me the organizer so I can give a presentation about Power BI.
We'll do that. Thank you so much.
Hello, I have a question, please.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, I want to compliment you on the way you did the schematic in Paint. I think that was very interesting. But the specific question I have is regarding the schematic. Are you saying that Power BI is pretty much in the analysis step, or are you saying it's more comprehensive than that?
Yes. So now when you speak about analysis, means it is helping an organization to take decision on a quantifiable evidence, if you tell like that. Quantifiable evidence in the sense, it is trying to understand your past experience, past data. You are feeding that information. You are feeding the data in Power BI, and in terms of, in the form of charts, it is giving you some information that you can try to understand and take decision on top of that.
Yeah, but in your schematic, are you saying that the Power BI is just in the analysis step, or is it in the other steps also?
Okay, perfect. This is the exactly right question. Yes, I was expecting this question. Thank you so much for adding this. So
You're
now
welcome.
Power BI is not just used in analysis steps. So any tool, if we can connect to multiple sources. So now I'll tell you, Power BI can connect to n number of sources. So I'll tell you. So Power BI can connect to flat files. Power BI can connect to SQL Server. Power BI can connect to Redshift. Power BI can connect to any online services available out there. So that means Power BI is justifying what we needed in collection, data collection. Yes, it does. Then Power BI is used in integration also. Have we heard about the tool named Power Query, guys?
Yes.
Yes. Power Query is a tool which is embedded inside Power BI, which helps us to integrate the information, do the cleaning. Cleaning in the sense, sometimes we have irregularly formatted data. So I want to clean that information. Sometimes we have a CSV file where just a comma separated information is there. So that needs data cleaning, right? So think, some information is coming from an SQL server and some information coming from a CSV file. Do you think the both are in same structure? Obviously not, because the data coming from the SQL server is perfectly formatted in rows and columns, but CSV file is not formatted in rows and columns. But we can do that integration in Power BI using the Power Query. We can transform that CSV into a table, and then we can merge the information coming from a SQL server and the information coming from the flat file. That is called integration. Power BI can does that. Finally, on top of the data model that I create, Power BI helps us to create visualization. So now when each part of this cycle, so data collection, data integration, data analysis, all these steps is taken care of Power BI. Then does that answer your question? That each and every step Power BI is helping here.
Oh yeah, that's an excellent answer. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. And this is what we are going to learn in the entire program. So how to get information from various sources, how to merge them into a single format, and then effectively create visualization. And we had a problem. And business intelligence is giving us solution. So I have seen many times people are confused, or what is this tool? Why do we need this tool? So the solution is simple. The reason is simple. We want to take an intelligent decision in our organization. But how we can tell it is an intelligent decision? Nowadays, we are living in a data-driven world. So it's a property of a nature that it repeats. For an example, if I tell you, if the sales, for example, school product sales will be sold more in a more number in the month of May, June, July, but rest of the month the sale will become less. So data that we collect from the months of June, July, August, then September, October, November, so it repeats every year, right? So data driven world. So that helps us to understand our business better, to understand seasonality, to understand the sale trends. Yes, in that way we can take better decisions. In similar way, any business, if when we come to pharmaceutical business, yes, in this pandemic situation we'll be seeing that there is a spike in the sales of pharmaceutical products, and we couldn't even find a single this one, what do we call that, as an oximeter, because the sale was surged. Guys, this is data driven world, and Power BI is helping us to collect the information from the past and help to predict future or take the next decisions with the help of visuals. Any other questions, guys? We are open to take questions.
I would. This is Irvin again. I don't know if you have a great answer for this one, but with the model that you've diagrammed out very attractively, wouldn't you say that for everything to work, you've really got to figure out what the best data sources are to tap into? And yes, what suggestions do you have in the real world as to how to think about what data sources to tap into, or should you consult with stakeholders, or because it seems from my experience, what I've seen at various companies is they don't necessarily tap into the right data sources.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So data source selection is also a part here when we are trying to develop a data analytics infrastructure within an organization. Selection of data source also is very important, guys. Nowadays we are having a lot of data sources available out there. So it could be a Redshift, it could be a SQL Server, it could be a Salesforce. Many different sources are there. So now we have to understand how the end user is preferring to track their information. For example, if I take an example in the supermarket where we are selling the products. So it could be like just give a web form, they will enter that information and that will be stored into a SQL Server. And then from the SQL Server, we are good to start with our analytics. So there is a data lineage. We call it a data lineage. It could be any information, guys. For some a group of reporting persons, they have their information in the flat files. So they are not directly entering individual record. So data source selection is also one big challenge for us, where we have a huge number of data sources available. It depends on business to business. There is no specific answer that you have to select this source only or that source only. It depends to business and who are the source of information for us. Because if you see in B2C business where I'm directly selling my products, who is entering the information? Directly customer is entering the information. At that time, have to keep in mind that how easily he can enter that information. If I go to transact in a bank or an ATM, again, it's a customer who is entering the information. So I have to ensure that it will be easy for him to enter that information. If you are a manager and you have 10 persons who is working under you and you want some information from them, you will ask, give me an Excel file, give me a flat file, so that I'll consolidate them and I'll bring up a report for that. So in the both ways, the data source is different, right? Make sense? Data source selection?
Yes, thank you for that answer.
Yes. Anyone else would like to understand more on this Power BI tool in specific or in general terms? What is business intelligence and who will be using that most? Anyone? Any question we are open to take, which will help you guys to understand why Power BI and what Power BI does and how it does.
I have another question, which I think you'll find interesting, and I've heard an answer to this before, but I'm just wondering how you would answer. But Power BI is, of course, is Microsoft, and so I'm wondering how would you say that how much difference does it make whether the company is using other Microsoft products, like specifically SQL Server, or how would you approach the use of Power BI in a company that was using like Microsoft SQL Server versus a company that was using Oracle, as far as integrating it and making the most use out of Power BI?
Okay, I didn't get your question correctly. Can you just repeat it one more time?
Oh yeah, sure. Well, say you're asked to implement Power BI at two companies. One company has a lot of Microsoft products. Specifically, they have SQL Server. That's their database. Okay. Another company has Oracle. And they're similar companies, similar objectives, but so what would be the difference in the that you would, or the added value that you would get in the company that, say, had a Microsoft shop with SQL Server versus, say, a company that had Oracle and non-Microsoft type products?
Exactly, I got a question. So you are telling that when two companies use different data sources, say one company is using Oracle server and another company is using SQL server, and I'll add a couple of more. Another company is using Amazon Redshift, which is hosted on AWS servers. Another company is using Azure database, which is hosted on Microsoft servers. So different data sources are there, and they want to adopt a Power BI as an analytics platform within their organization. And what difference does that make?
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay. In that case, I'll tell you, in order to use this Power BI, we have data connections available. I told, right? Data connections. We have capability to connect from the Power BI to SQL server. We have capability from Power BI to connect to Oracle server. We have capability from Power BI to connect directly to Redshift server. So now, when I have all these types of connections possible to directly connect from Power BI, irrespective of who is the vendor or which ecosystem that product is part of, then does that make any difference?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. What I didn't know is that it had those specific capabilities. So you're saying
exactly.
The fact that
You'll be surprised. Let me just show you that. Can you see my Power BI screen on my screen now?
Yes.
I'll just show you. I'll click on just get data, and you'll be amazed to see the list of data connections that we can connect from Power BI. Just have a look. I'll just show you that.
Yeah.
All the different types.
Let me just follow up on that. But I appreciate what you're showing. That's very good. How would you compare then the connectors in Power BI to, say, like a high-end tool like Informatica?
Sorry, didn't get you here.
Well, from what you're showing is very interesting. You're saying Power BI has a lot of connectors. How would you compare that to, say, a high-end tool like Informatica in terms of the number of connectors?
Exactly. You have the right question. So the one who is working on the Informatica tool, I expect definitely this answer. So I'll just reframe your question. Tell me whether I've got your question right or no. When Informatica, many of the organizations are currently using Informatica, rather than connecting to each and every individual sources, why not take information to Informatica from all the sources, which is easily can be done, and then integrate the information and then use a single connection directly from the data source from where Informatica has stored that information, and from a single source create a dashboard. You are telling like this.
Well, yeah, I'm just, it's a difficult question kind of, but I'm asking you to like compare and contrast the abilities,
Exactly.
the abilities
Okay.
of Power BI versus Informatica as far as connectors.
Exactly. So I'll tell you, Informatica is a dedicated tool to be used for integration. Dedicated tool. That means it has a large capabilities of integrations can be done. Power BI also has integration capabilities, but organizations prefer Informatica for integration over Power BI integration. Why? There is a performance picture comes when we deal with the organization level. Organization level, we want faster processing without affecting the outage for the end user. So now Informatica jobs will run in the night and it will give the clean information to Power BI, and then Power BI can mainly concentrate on analytics rather than concentrating on integration or cleaning the information. We have a separate person, a dedicated person to do transformation separately and my visualization separately. So in order to that, they complement each other and reduce the time required to build up the analytics platform rather than only one tool. Make sense?
Yeah, that was interesting. Thank you.
Yes. The main reason here is we don't want to overburden Power BI, because if I overburden Power BI, then there will be a delay in presenting the dashboard to the end user. So what I'm doing, I'm dividing the work. You take up the integration work, and Power BI, you take up the analysis work, so that we can achieve better results. We don't want to burden only one tool here. So that is what the funda that most of the organization currently use. Make sense to you?
Yes, yeah.
Any other participants, guys? I can see other participants are just quiet. Means we have not understood anything, or we are just trying to understand.
I have a question.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, let's say I know is that when you create a dashboard, you could create a dashboard with SSRS as well, right? But when you deploy those reports, right? Where do you deploy? Is the same server like SSRS report, or you have a Power BI has a different?
Exactly. Okay. So Power BI has different components. So there are two options for you to deploy the reports. So one I would tell is Power BI service, and second is Power BI report server. Two options to deploy the reports. So Power BI service. Power BI service. So this is a server which hosts your dashboard. And this is a cloud-based. Another one is you can use Power BI report server. Power BI report server, and this is on-prem. So two options to publish, and you can just give access to anyone you want to see that report. After you develop a report from Power BI desktop, this is PBI, that is Power BI desktop, and then develop a dashboard and publish it here or here based on your setup in the organization. Then you can give proper access to any one user. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, so they have a different report server you are saying than SSRS, right?
Yes, it's a different server, not SSRS, it's different servers. Yes. We have two mainly. One is Power BI service, which is a cloud offering where you need not purchase any server. Automatically, you have to just pay Power BI for each and every license and you are good to go. Or else, if you don't want to share your information with Power BI cloud, you have very sensitive information, you want your on-prem server, you just have a local server on your inside your company, and then ask Power BI people to come and install a report server on top of that. Then instead of going to your your information to cloud, which is open, and you are afraid that it will be hacked or your company privacy will be compromised, then go for Power BI report server.
So if it now let's say if I develop a report and it has to be dynamic, with the data is coming in to the server, SQL server, and will it automatic update with the SQL server?
Right question. We have a concept called in Power BI refresh schedules. After you publish your dashboard, this is your dashboard you publish, and after you publish it here, you can set up schedules, refresh schedules you can set up. Refresh schedule you can set up, and you can give a proper time at what time every day you want your report to be refreshed. Automatically at this particular time, your Power BI service will go to your sources, SQL server, any other server. It will go, it will hit there, and it will get the updated information and refresh your dashboard. Does that answer your question? And even that is included in the program. Will be how to schedule the refresh also.
That's you have to schedule it, but can you just, let's say if the end user they want to see 1 point report, let's say at 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock again at 2:30, 2:15, doesn't matter. They want to see the latest to the minute. So is it directly, can it directly be connected with the server to get the data?
Yes, we have two modes of operation. One is direct query mode and one is import mode.
Okay.
So direct query means not 15 minutes. Every minute you open, it will be live data. It will hit to the database and get the data. But will this be work for you if you have large information? Direct query will consume more time, right?
Yeah, I know that, yeah.
If you have large information. So to overcome that, Power BI has come up with an import mode. So what they are doing here, we are not frequently hitting the database. We are taking a copy of the information from the SQL server and storing inside Power BI. So will that improve my performance of the report?
Definitely. That's all I improve.
That's the bottleneck. That's the bottleneck that we have to choose. So based on your requirement, you want to show every time the live information to the user. But that has caveats, its own caveats it have. So if the data is large, then you cannot give a direct query. Otherwise, the user experience will get spoiled. If you have large information, you can suggest your user, don't use it very frequently. Every 2 hours, 3 hours you use, so that we have proper time to refresh that report and you can get the updated data. So both the options you have. Make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. Hope your doubts are getting clear.
Also, another one, Power BI has the capability to, let's say you want to send a report to your boss every morning, but the boss doesn't want to go into the server. He just wants to see his email. So the Power BI has the capability to run the report on time, schedule time, and send the email.
That we call as paginated report. That is called a paginated report. That is altogether different. But yes, we have a capability of that.
Can we do that?
Yes. So that is altogether different capability of Power BI. We need to explore on that.
Because that is the common scenarios for especially
many organizations use that. Even I have used that feature. Not in Power BI, but I have used that in Tableau and ClickSense. If you know that in ClickSense we call it as yen printing, and Tableau we call it as subscriptions.
I used to. I don't work anymore, but I used to work on the using SSRS.
Yeah.
And every morning,
there is a flexibility here. Yes. We can explore.
I had created a report every morning to show my director that how many files has been loaded, the file counts and the record counts in the file. He has to see that the difference from the previous day to day. So make sure there are difference. So,
absolutely, that makes sense. Because you don't want to do that every day morning, and you want it to be scheduled and automated so that it will be automatically shared with your manager and he can do his work.
Yeah. Because that's what I'm saying. Those kind of technicality and capability, if the Power BI has or not, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's there. There is a feature, but needs to be explored much more on that. But we have that feature.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your question. I can see many interesting questions coming up from the participants. That shows the interest, and we are just getting more into the exploring the tool. Anyone else has any other questions? Or else I'll just hand over.
Hi, yeah, this is Urban. I want to compliment the guy who asked the last question about the various services. I thought that was very good. But since you mentioned Click and Tableau, and I realize you have limited time, but I'm wondering if you could, at a very high level, just compare the capabilities of Power BI versus Tableau and Click for somebody who wants to kind of think of how to place those in their mind as to the pecking order, so to speak, of how to decide which one of these tools to go with.
Now, both has their own advantages and disadvantages. So we cannot suggest anyone Power BI is over Tableau or Tableau is over Power BI. So now I'll just give one quick two-liner here for you guys to decide. Tableau is very good when it comes to data visualization. Means when you want to just create chart, Tableau is very good. But Tableau lacks in data cleaning. We cannot do effective data cleaning in Tableau. But Power BI is very good in data cleaning. But comparative to Tableau, the Power BI is 95%. I would say out of 100%, 95%. Just we need to a little bit compromise when it comes to the data visualization. To counterpart that, we have a lot of better data integration capabilities. But in Tableau, we have less data capabilities, means data integration capabilities. And Tableau is very user friendly. We can just drag and drop, create the charts. Similarly, we can do the charts in here also, Power BI. So ultimately, it's the end user. We as a developer, we cannot decide which tool is better. So ultimately, it's the end user to whom we are trying to build the report. So both has their own advantages and disadvantages. So we cannot keep one tool above the other. So there is a particular business problem, and to solve that business problem, which tool can be effective?
Do you have a one-sentence comment on Click?
Click also is the same kind. Clicks also is same kind of, it's a data analytics tool only. Power BI, Tableau, and Click. You guys know that these three tools are leaders in the market currently, and together all these three tools are occupying 75% of the BI industry. 75%.
Is there anything you could say about Click to differentiate it from either Tableau or Power BI?
I would tell that ClickSense is in what terms I could say that? Yes, there is a special feature in ClickSense which I felt in my development experience. We have features of N printings in Click, where on-demand reports can be generated. In the sense, you are a manager and you are in a hurry to go to a meeting. You just want to get a report generated, a PPT of PowerPoint. So you want to get generated. That flexibility you have in Click, that is lagging in Power BI and Tableau. So all the tools has their own advantages and disadvantages. When you tell me that this is my particular requirement, then I can suggest you, yes, this tool has that feature. Overall, from the broader picture, seeing from the top, these three tools are there without understanding the business problem. So I have told you, there is a business problem. I want to sell my product. I want to purchase some product. So there is a business problem. How to purchase, how to sell, how to effectively collaborate. So if that question comes into picture, then we can decide properly which tool is needed. Seeing just from the top, we cannot decide which tool is better. As we know that when they are the top three tools in the market, it will be very difficult without understanding the business problem to judge a tool. Does that make sense? Because
thank you. That's very good.
Yes, I have worked on all the three tools, And in my career, I have handled such a client who will come blindly to me and ask, this is my business problem, and tell me which tool is better. So we take time from them, and then we assess, this is the requirement and this is what the business wants to convey some information. So based on his requirement, we suggest him a tool. We cannot tell directly, yes, this is a requirement and just take either of these 3 tools or take this tool because this is just easy. No, we cannot tell this is just easy, you use this. This is just difficult, you don't use this. We cannot tell that. We have to assess business requirement. When there is a problem, only when there will be a usage of these tools. Make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Well,
Yeah.
I think that's it for today's webinar. If no more questions, guys, because we expected for 30 minutes, it's already been 1 hour. I will take on the presentation
Yes.
because we have the complete content, which is 24 hours of training. I will be giving you the details about more program details and the benefits and stuff like that. Well, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. So, hey guys, my name is Charles Christopher, and I am an advisor and a career counselor. I've been doing this for 13 years. So I'll be showing you where you can access the complete details of Power BI, and I'll also show you a couple of other programs which would be the right fit for you. But in order for me to guide you which program is the best program for you, I need to know you personally, which region you're based off, your experience, are you working in IT or non-IT, what's your current package and what's your expectation, what's your designation, education background. So based on a lot of factors, I can guide you to the right program. So let's just try to find Power BI program. All I'm doing is typing in Power in the search bar, and yeah, here we go. Microsoft Power BI certification training. Well, first thing that we notice is this is in collaboration with Microsoft. So the content is designed by Microsoft because we have collaborated with them, and Power BI, of course, belongs to Microsoft. So 24 hours of instructor-led training. Now let's see what is it that you'll be getting trained in the 24 hours of duration. Here we go. Now these are all the modules, guys, that's going to be covered in the 24 hours of training with the live instructor from module 1 to 9, which is purely going to be a practical learning platform. So let's click on each module. You see Introduction to Business Intelligence. So whether you're from IT or non-IT, doesn't matter. You'll be literally introduced to the topic from the very basic to advanced step by step. One interesting thing that we come across is hands-on exercise. So every module has hands-on exercises, guys. So this is purely going to be a practical learning platform rather than some PowerPoint presentations and boring lectures. So you'll be getting trained. So the instructor who gave a presentation, he has 15+ years of experience in IT, works for top-tier MNC. So you're getting trained by a professional who is already working on Power BI with more than 15+ years of experience in IT. So moving further, this is very, very important. So whether you want to become proficient with the technology, whether you want to clear the interviews during the technical round, or whether you want to land a job, so hands-on experiences on projects is mandatory. So those days are gone where a company is going to hire you, then train you for 4 or 5 months, and then put you in a team. No company wants to do that. Every company wants to hire a person who has an experience. So do not mistake, when they say experience, they're talking about hands-on experience. Now, these projects and case studies are going to give you enough hands-on experience that you would be proficient using Power BI as a tool or technology for more than 9 months to 12 months. So this is very, very important, guys. So we are going to provide you the necessary tool or lab access for you to play, learn, and practice. So we also provide you lifetime technical support assistance whenever you're stuck or whenever you have any queries. We are there to help you, guide you, and assist you. Well, this is the course completion certificate, guys, issued by Intellipaat, acknowledged by Microsoft partner on completion of the program and assignments. And assignments will be evaluated. Only then you get to know what are the areas you're lacking, what are the areas you need to improve. And the course itself is designed for you to clear DA100 exam. So this is the official examination for Power BI. The content itself is designed or aligned with the official certification exam. So once you complete the program, you'll be qualified to clear the official examination. We have more than 95% of passing aggregate. Now let's talk about Intellipaat. Well, we are in business for about 7 years. We have 700,000 learners. Our reach is over 55 different regions. So we are the only company to provide you a lifetime access. Why do we provide lifetime access? Is because we know we are dealing with a working professional, majority of the crowd, about 95%. So they don't miss classes, but they tend to miss classes because of personal or professional commitments. So at that point in time, nobody would be motivated enough to again invest money. So it is a one-shot investment, but the access is lifetime with a lifetime free upgrade. So tomorrow Power BI comes up with Power BI Plus. So that means you also have to upgrade the content to the latest version. So at that point in time, you're not paying an additional dime, you're not paying a single rupee to upgrade your skill set to the latest version. Because it is a lifetime access, you get to learn the latest version for free. So everything in Selfpace is given to you for free. One-on-one doubt resolutions, that means it is totally interactive. Attend as many batches for lifetime. We have literally put it on website, so it's a lifetime access, guys. Remember, instructor is live. Feel free to ask him questions. He's going to answer to you. And all the classes are recorded and given to you for your reference, because it's humanly impossible for you to recollect 3 hours of classes on Saturdays and 3 hours classes on Sundays. Instead, just pull out the videos of your own classroom that you attended just to brush up your knowledge. Now, let's talk about an additional feature which is job assistance. Now, job assistance works in 3 steps. Step 1 is we are going to rework on your resume. Step 2 is we are going to prepare you for the interview with the list of mock question and answers. So even before you attend the interview, you have a firm understanding of what sort of questions you might come across. And the final step is we are going to give you access to our job portal. Intellipaat has its own job portal. So apart from you marketing your resume on an open source platform or on LinkedIn, you can also market your resume on Intellipaat job portal. So your possibilities of lining up interviews literally increases. Now, this particular program, Selfpaced, is a pre-recorded video along with downloadable PDF materials in it. So I wouldn't recommend Selfpaced. I would recommend online for one important reason. Selfpaced is usually taken by a person who's already worked in Power BI, but he has a year break. He's working on other tool. Again, he wants to work on Power BI. He just needs a brush up. So those are the people who go for Selfpaced. So go for online, which is much more interactive, which is with a live instructor. So instead of $299, instead of 10%, you get 20% discount for Power BI. All you have to do is reach out to me on either of my WhatsApp numbers or drop me an email to charles.christopher@intellipaat.com. So you get 20% discount. We just have 2 coupons, which is purely on a first-come, first-served basis. So before going to the next program, do you have any questions, guys? So let me just, you can drop your questions. I'll be happy to read out to you. So all I'm doing is typing in business, and I want to show you this program, which is Business Intelligence Master Program. Now, is Power BI better, Tableau better, or Informatica, or ClickSense, ClickView? It's debatable. But when this particular program has the best BI reporting, visualization, ETL tools available in the market. So this is called as Business Intelligence Master Program. This has 9 programs in total, collaborative with IBM. So let me show you this. So once you complete the program, you would be suitable for either of these roles: Business Intelligence Architect, BI Manager, BI Developer, Business Intelligence Analyst, Business Intelligence Engineer. So here we go. MS SQL, Power BI, Azure Data Factory. I would say it's an upgraded version of Power BI. It's also called as SQL on Cloud, Tableau Desktop 10, MS BI, and Informatica. So these are the 6 programs, guys, with the live instructor-led training program, lifetime access. ClickSense, SQL database and administration, data warehousing, data modeling. These are self-paced, given to you for free. So in total, it's a combination of 9 programs. The only difference is this is the best program I would recommend for one to get into BI, because mostly or majorly the companies, they don't have just Power BI, they also have Tableau, they also have ClickSense. Like the instructor who gave a presentation, a webinar, he himself told he has worked on multiple BI tools. Why is that? That means the more tools that you know, the better package you're going to end in a better position to be landing yourself into. And here you see projects which is aligned from the beginner level, moving into intermediate next, and going into advanced. So you are starting your journey from the beginner, going to intermediate, and going to advanced. So one step at a time. So this is a purely structured program, and you'll be in a position to clear multiple certification exams. The course itself is aligned to clear multiple exams: SQL Server, Tableau, MS BI, Informatica, MS SQL Server again, and These are the codes, and DP200 and 201, 203. 203 is current version for Azure Data Factory. Now, which certification to go? Again, based on your background, I will be in a position to guide you. So you can click on either of these course content. You'll see a list of modules covered here. So these are all the modules that's going to be covered in Tableau Desktop 10 alone. These are all the projects, everything put together. Again, you'll be getting a course completion certificate as a business intelligence professional. So the only difference is the duration is more, guys, and the pricing. That's it. Rest everything literally is the same. The benefits, whether you go for 1 program or 100 program, doesn't matter. It's a lifetime access. There's no expiration. So this program, the duration is more, so as the pricing. So you get Selfpaced for free with $7.99. If you go for online, which is $9.99. So reach out to me on either of my WhatsApp numbers, guys. So for business intelligence, only for 1 person who reaches out to me first gets a flat 50% discount, which is purely on a first come first serve basis, guys. So forgive me if you reach out to me late. So before you decide which program is best, let's have a discussion. So let's have a discussion. You know, you can drop me a WhatsApp message. Let me try to understand you better. Then I will be in a position to guide you in the right direction. So one last program I want to show you guys is a job interview guarantee program. So here we go. So business analysis and product management. So if you're interested to get into this techno-functional role as a product manager or a project manager or chief product officer, so this is again a program you can go for, which has analytical tools, SQL, machine learning, NumPy, Python. So what is the difference between this program? So, well, this is a dedicated program, guys, in collaboration with IBM and IIBA, and this is also in collaboration with MNIT. It's a Malawian National Institute of Technology. So this is a job interview guarantee program. So minimum 3, maximum 5 interviews will be scheduled. 7 months of program conducted only during the weekends. 8th month, we are going to prepare you for the interview with more question and answers. 9th month, we are going to schedule an interview for you, whichever region you're based out of, in the US or Canada or Europe or Middle East or India. So it doesn't matter, but the major, commitment from your end would be you should have a minimum of 50% of attendance. You should submit the exercises and assignments on time, which will be evaluated. Only then you get to know what are the areas you're lacking, what are the areas you need to improve. You take care of those 2 things. 9th month, we are going to schedule an interview for you guys with a minimum of 30 to 40% hike from your past package. So to know more about that, again, please drop me a WhatsApp message or drop me an email so that we can discuss in detail. So before we are done with the program, let's discuss the schedule. So if you're in India, guys, you can follow the Indian, the website timing, which is very accurate, along with the Indian Standard Time, IST. If you're in the US or if you're in Northern America, so let me just do that. If it's a weekday batch, it's gonna be Monday to Thursday, 4 days a week, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So this is your weekday batch schedule, guys, and weekend batch schedule will be Saturday and Sunday. The timings for you will be 10:30 in the morning Eastern Standard Time to 1:30 in the afternoon Eastern Standard Time. So you can either do a weekday batch or you can either do a weekend batch, whichever suits you best. So any questions, guys, please drop me a text on my WhatsApp, on my Indian WhatsApp or my US WhatsApp, whichever suits you best, or drop me an email. So I hope today's presentation and the webinar was helpful and informative. I'll be looking forward to speak to you guys if I get a message from you and help you in the right direction, and also, of course, help you save a lot of money. So thank you so much for your time and have a great day ahead. Cheers. Bye-bye.